Hi, I'm Cullen Echo, and here I'm going to present you with a video on being able to install and use Pop! OS Cosmic Edition. Now, I've been kind of curious about this for quite a while now, wanting to know if Vtubing would be possible on that kind of OS, since it is based off Ubuntu. And it is using a different DE or desktop environment called Cosmic Desktop, because I think people are kind of curious about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So what we're going to go ahead and do, you're going to go ahead and search up Pop! OS, and it will look something like this. It'll look something like this. So what you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to go ahead and click on Pop! OS by System76, or click on the download button. You're going to go ahead and click on download, and you'll be given options to download Pop! OS. So what you can do is there are different versions of Pop! OS. You can grab the latest Pop! OS LTS, and it's going to grab it with the NVIDIA version. Then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your USB drive and you're going to plug it into your computer. And if you're on any distribution or Windows, for example, you can actually grab a thing called Popsicle. Now, this is an OS that... Now I already have Popsicle installed, which would be called USB Flasher. So after this downloads for the NVIDIA edition, because some OSs may need it, some OSs may not, but we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go ahead and grab the image. We're gonna go ahead and grab the NVIDIA version of this. If you're on AMD, just grab the one right here. If you're on NVIDIA, grab the one right here. Some OSs will also be able to auto-detect what kind of card you have. Hit next. Go ahead and choose your flash drive, hit next, and you're gonna go ahead and put your password in. Once you put your password in, it will then go ahead and start flashing your distribution onto the flash drive. And if you're on Windows, what you could do is there's a thing called Rufus, and if you were to click on your search bar and you were to type in Rufus, it will then let you create a bootable drive. I recommend using Rufus. If you do have issues, I don't recommend this directly, but Etcher can also work. Do keep in mind they keep records of what OSs you download and install on your flash drives. You keep that in mind. However, it might be better for some people to use that. You can also use Ventoy. Ventoy is also a solid option to use for most distributions. There are some distributions that do not directly want you to use this, but it is good for archiving a bunch of distributions. And I think there's a thing that you can use also called Popsicle. There's a thing that you can use called Popsicle, and it's a Linux utility, but yeah, it's an app image if you're switching from Linux and stuff. Another thing that you could do if you're already on a Linux distribution is you can use a thing called Fedora Media Writer. Honestly, out of everything, this has been really good. But if you're doing something specifically for Pop! OS, use Popsicle. It's what they designed that for, so I'm assuming that's just how it's going to work. So we're going to go ahead and just let that download, let that install onto the flash drive. I've had good luck on SanDisk drives and ON drives, ONN. Those are the ones that I recommend the most, especially if they're USB 3.0. USB 2.0 can work for some distributions, but your mileage may vary. If you're doing this via Ventoy, make sure you have a high quality hard drive to put that on, or high quality flash drive in order for it to properly be installed. Okay, so it is finished, and it's finished with the NVIDIA version. So we're going to go ahead and just switch gears, or more or less switch computers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull the flash drive out of the computer, and we're going to go ahead and put it in the other one. And it's taken me a little bit to make, but it's done. And I don't think I'm going to need any computer hardware for a long time. So this will be good enough. AMD hardware just to be tested with the APU if I were to need to use that. And then there's also the GPU. So what you could do is you actually want to not do that. You want to make sure you go to the UEFI firmware settings, because Bazite likes to grab your desktop, basically. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the UEFI firmware settings, and we're actually going to change to our boot drive. Now, you don't have to do this all the time. Some computers will auto-detect it and let you install it, but in this case, I need to go to my BIOS. Now, this is the kind of hardware that I'm running right now. This is at least the bare minimum. You can thank the AI tech bros for this, especially when it comes to them trying to implement things that just, doesn't really benefit anybody. But there's a lot of things we could possibly do with this. I do have an extra drive, so we're actually going to change the boot option from Fedora to a different one. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. We're going to go ahead and put this in the front. We're going to go ahead and grab where it says USB. That's going to be the front. This would be boot option 2. And this can kind of just be how this is. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I don't think this motherboard has XMP. I could be wrong. It is an ASRock motherboard. I'm unsure. Like, I can probably check the BIOS real quick. Because depending on what happens, you may have to update your BIOS. There is no UEFI BIOS flashback. But I think this will be fine. BIOS version 4.0. It's somewhat recent. It's not gonna be horrible. And I am using base level hardware in my opinion, so this will work. But this will still work. So we're gonna go ahead and hit exit. Save changes and exit. Hit yes. And what's going to end up happening is it's going to boot into Pop! OS. It's going to go ahead and boot into Pop! OS. Okay, so yes, it is booting in the Pop! OS. So it's really weird. Yeah, they do rely on Ubuntu's package set, but they do have their own little differences as well. So yeah, we're in Pop! OS right now, and we're gonna go ahead and select English, United States, English, default, clean install. So in our case, we're going to click on custom. We're going to use the SPCC solid state. It's going to have its own root folder. It's going to, we're going to use this root. We're going to go ahead and select, actually, we're going to click on the clean install. Then we're going to click on the solid state drive. This is the drive that has Bazite on it. This is the drive that has nothing on it. So we're going to go ahead and erase and install. We're going to go ahead and type a name in. And then for the use of this video, we're going to type in testing Pop! OS. Well, I'm just going to put test TPC Pop! OS. Hit next. Okay, so it's going to give you the option to encrypt your drive. That's literally up to you, but I'm going to hit don't encrypt. And it's going to go ahead and start partitioning the drive and start installing everything that it really needs. So basically, when it comes to looking at these OSs, I'm looking at the practicality of how somebody can adopt the OS to be able to use it, especially if they've never used it before. All right, so now we are in the we're in the desktop now. So we don't need the screen reader, don't need a magnifier. Hit next. Doesn't have Wi-Fi, doesn't matter. Hit next, hit next, next. Time zone and location. Just gonna select the time zone. Just choose that one, and we get to choose what kind of what kind of personal space we can do. You can go ahead and personalize your desktop at the beginning of this setup. I think I like Nebula Dark. It seems like it's good. Now we can choose to have a bottom panel, or we can have a top and a bottom panel. Now, I don't really like the top and the bottom panel, so I mean, I'll just have the bottom panel. To me, this seems right. To me, this seems correct. So we're gonna hit next. Workspaces. Next. Next. So you get a bunch of shortcuts. It tells you how fast and efficient it is. And now we are in Pop! OS Cosmic. So let's go ahead and just take a look at everything that it has. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the launcher. Not application. So you have your launcher. You can type in your app. You got your workspaces. You can choose your workspace. Applications. These are the applications that come pre-installed with Pop! OS. And it does have the NVIDIA server settings. So if you wanted to, tweak any settings that you had, if you had an NVIDIA card, that work as well. There's Cosmic settings, which helps you change your wallpaper to any of these wallpapers, right? So you can definitely change your wallpaper if you want to. We'll just go for one that's like not. We'll just use the one that came with the system. Displays, you can choose your display. You can choose the hertz. This apparently can go up to 75 hertz. We can stay at 60 though. Power and battery. You put it in high performance mode. You can choose whether or not the screen turns off or if there's an automatic suspend, so it's right there. Input devices, it tells you what kind of, gives you the option to control your keyboard and mouse. Default applications, startup applications are right here. And then this is basically the X11 compatibility, which is something new I've never seen, so that's an interesting thing to see. You can change your time and language. You can add more users to the account. Here's some information about the system. 16 gigabytes of RAM, APU, GPU. We have graphics here. Not sure why these are showing up twice, but it's it's a weird configuration, weird setup, so I can kind of understand that. You get the option for Bluetooth. You can enable that if you want to. It becomes disabled by default due to it being a security concern in some situations. Your desktop, you change your appearance, colors, and theming. You can change all the themes about it if you want to. You can, you can even do that if you wanted to. So that is good. Change your panel stuff. Change the dock. So it basically gives you the ability to rice your own desktop within the desktop settings, which is basically one of the things that should be in a desktop for the most part. And a lot of DEs can do this, but this seems like this is sort of more efficient. And you can of course attach a VPN. If you're unwired, it's going to tell you that you're connected. You can look at your settings if you wanted to. It's all that good stuff. So now we are in the desktop. We've already sort of explored things. So how do you get applications? Well, people might think, oh, you can use the terminal. You don't have to use the terminal. Let me go ahead and just let me take a look at the desktop appearance. Let me take a look at the display. Display scaling, 1920 by 1080 is good. I might want to scale this down a bit because this looks better. At least for my eyes, but normally it'd be a 100%. So there's that. Let's see here, because this is a new OS. It is kind of different. So if you wanted to get something, go to the Cosmic Store. Cosmic Store will have everything that you possibly will need. At least we will see. So, none of the apps are showing up, so that's interesting. Checking for updates. Let's go ahead and just let it check for updates. There we go. So we're going to want to update everything. So update all. Put a password in. And it's going to go ahead and download everything. You would do this via the Cosmic Store. I'm not sure if they have a dedicated updater. They might. They do not. So if you're going to update your system, you can actually just do it from the store. Their store looks like a more refined version of the Discover store. It's going to go ahead and update everything, especially if you're on Pop! OS Cosmic. I'm not sure how far along they are, but they are at least far along enough to show that it's at least functional. I think we're on Wayland as well. Take a look at the settings real quick. Click on accounts, about. I should say we're on Wayland. To be filled by OEM. All right. Yeah, we're on Wayland. We're on the Wayland windowing system. That's what we're currently on. We are on a somewhat newer kernel. I think with Bazite, the kernel isn't super new, but it's also not super old. We'll see. Yeah, Bazite is a little bit behind. It's on 6.17.7. This one's on 6.17.9. So, I mean, you know, it's there. It's there. It's working. It's working just fine. Because based on a new user experience, this is what you're going to have to do. You're just going to have to let it install its updates, and that will be that. And especially when we're updating and installing a bunch of system packages, which is very much warranted. Especially in a situation like this. I mean, look at all the package updates that are currently going on. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of package updates, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's also updating the Linux image too. Yeah, so the kernel's actually, yeah, the image is updating. So yeah, I mean that works. It's going on 6.18, so that's actually going to be even further along than what Bazite is right now. And I think, yeah, now we have all the programs here. So as we're waiting on that to happen. If you needed to get a messaging client, your options are Discord, even though Discord right now is kind of just going through some shit. You can also use something like Cine or Signal or Matrix, basically. But there's a Steam installer, and we're going to need this. The hell? Hold on. We'll just wait for the system to update first, because obviously there are certain things that are. Did the theme, when I changed the theme, did that show displays, desktop, appearance? Let's just change that back and hit OK there, and this. There we go. So it was actually just blacking everything out. Which version of this is coming from FlatHub. So let's grab this one. So we're going to install OBS as well. And we're going to go ahead and also grab Steam. Now Steam is going to be the installer here. It's going to install that. Put a password in. It's going to be the system version of it. Everybody uses the system version until things change. I would not use the FlatHub version. You can grab Luitris if you want. You go ahead and just grab bottles real quick as well. We're gonna grab the Fogus launcher just to see. There we go. Grab the Fogus launcher, hit install. Gonna go ahead and grab Base Tracker. Gonna need that. And yeah, we're just gonna let everything else download. But yeah, you definitely have the ability to install and download a whole bunch of things, especially out the gate. You don't actually need to do a lot of things with this. Now, at a later date, I will show you how to set up OBS properly, especially when it comes to streaming. And I'll have definitely a lot of footage for that. You also want to have Proton Plus. We're gonna grab that too. At base minimum, that's basically what we need. You can grab basically anything else that you'd want, but you don't really need to at the moment. There is quite a lot of things though you can get, so do keep that in mind. There is a huge vast store. This is all pulling from FlatHub, and possibly also pulling from things like, I don't know, it's pulling from a lot of things actually, but it's not bad, it's at least good that all this stuff exists here. Okay, so we're gonna see if it's updating everything. All applications are up to date. Everything's up to date. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now, it didn't prompt us to restart, but we're gonna go ahead and restart. So it's gonna hit restart, confirm. Normally updates would prompt you to restart, but I'm not sure as to why that's not happening. I think it's because we did it through that. You can update through the terminal, but I'm gonna be honest, nobody's really gonna want to do that, especially if they're a new person. They might mess with the terminal at some point, but you don't have to, especially if it's offering you a GUI solution to install and update packages on your system. You will need to restart to make sure those things can be applied and changed before you can actually use it or update it. But yeah, everything's going to be here. Just pick password in. But yeah, we're here. We're on here now. I think since it did get updated, it's going to go ahead and show a different kernel version. Yeah, we are on the most recent one. So yeah, we are on the most recent kernel. Now, Cosmic isn't exactly perfect, but why isn't it? Why? Stay there. Yeah, just make sure your stuff's in high performance if you need to. For some reason, it restarts, puts it in balanced. Put it in high performance. Most people are going to want to do that. Go ahead and go to your applications. You can add these to... Well, it's not letting you really add to the desktop, so you will have to go through your application tray to grab these. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and take care of that. But let's go ahead and just take a look at something real quick. We don't have to do this, but yeah, there's NeoFetch. There's basically all the information about the system. NeoFetch is out of date though, so I mean they're a farmer now, so there's that. But yeah, so we've already installed and updated our system. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna go ahead and click on Firefox, and we're gonna go ahead and look up the Linux guide to Vtubing, and we're gonna go ahead and keep that open. Normally I would use DuckDuckGo, but this is quicker at the moment. Yeah, we have everything here. If you want to get Spout 2, you have to go to Linus page right here. We will need QPW graph. That is also a thing that we're going to need. So we're going to go ahead and go to the Cosmic Store. Go ahead and grab QPW graph. Going to hit install. We're going to go ahead and install this. Not only are we going to do that, we are going to go to where it says OBS, because we already have OBS installed, but there are a couple things that you're going to need to grab. So go ahead and click on OBS, expand this, go down here, and there's a whole bunch of things we need. We need, for some things we need game capture installed. You might need GStreamer. I don't know why this happens. They need to improve this so it doesn't pop it back up. Just go ahead and grab all your GStreamer stuff. You might need this. I can't guarantee if you actually will. We'll go over the other stuff. We just need to grab what we need. So to grab OBS to PW, OBS Pipewire Video. Just gonna go ahead and install this. And it's gonna install right into OBS. Maybe Wayland hotkeys. That's besides the point. We're also gonna need to make sure things can show up correctly. Is we're gonna need to go here, grab flat seal. Install that. We might need that. I can't guarantee if we'll need that. Might have to show you that later on. Yeah, go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and go here, Spout 2 PW. Click on releases. Grab the latest release. So this was done 2 weeks ago. We're gonna go ahead and download this. Let it download. And we're gonna get Spout 2 ready for this. And, you know, I understand in past guides, I would go down here and, you know, give you all the game capture stuff. But it's really good to use the Flatpak version of OBS because being able to install things easily is better. Now, if you're using, like, the native version, you may have to build the packages. You may have to go through all that. There's a Spout 2 method. I do have certain instructions here as well. Basically, would tell you how you would basically get anything done. Which we're going to go ahead and stay on this page stay on this part of the page here. Let's also grab a couple applications. So for PNG tubing, Vtube Mini is a thing. And you can download it. Let's go ahead and just download now. Take me to downloads. You can use Linux, but we're also going to grab the Windows version, because the Windows version supports Spout 2. We're also going to look up VNeon. I don't have a model to show you. So, I did VNeon. We're going to grab VCFace. VCFace got fixed with Spout 2 recently, so we can go ahead and do that. So go and download that. So we basically are going to cover all our bases when it comes to 3D, VTubing, and all that stuff. And I may show you Warudo as well. It really just depends. I may have to make Warudo its own video as well, because Warudo is kind of involved. But yeah, we basically have this. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep this page open, and we're gonna go ahead and go to where Spout 2 PW is at. And Spout 2 PW is gonna want to. We're gonna extract that. We have this here. I'm just gonna go ahead and just rename this to Spout 2 PW. Just gonna do that. Let's go ahead and put this in your home folder. This is something that has to be in your home folder, or else you're not gonna be able to use it correctly. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and close that out for now. Let's go ahead and just extract the other stuff as well. Let's grab like VCFace. Let's extract this stuff. We're good there. Let's go ahead and boot up OBS. Now Cosmic is, Cosmic is is good, but it's also got its own little quirks. So keep that in mind. They're still developing this. Let's go ahead and pull up the applications. We go ahead and grab OBS Studio. You can go ahead and go through this, hit next. You can add all that stuff if you want to. We're not going to go through this. Your desktop environment doesn't support Shortcuts Portal, or it crashed. This is probably an issue with Cosmic, because this is the first time I've ever seen this, especially when on KDE this doesn't happen. So, do keep in mind if you are using Cosmic, you might run into problems. Let's go ahead and add a couple things. I'm gonna go ahead and add Pipewire Video, because this is what we're gonna be using. Most people are gonna want to use Pipewire over using Game Capture, but if you're using something like VNeon or Warudo, you will have to use Game Capture to prevent it from crashing. VCFace, Vtube Mini, and Vtube Studio all will not crash with the Proton 10 version of Proton, basically, the GE Proton 10. It will not crash with that. It won't crash with experimental either. But what will end up happening with Vinyan and Warudo is if you use anything besides Proton 8 or GE Proton 8, along with some launch commands, you will eventually run into a memory leak, and then your whole PC will lock up. That is what will happen. Your whole PC will end up, in fact, locking up. To prevent that, the older Proton versions will help prevent that from happening. On VC Face, on Vtube Mini, and on Vtube Studio, that doesn't happen because they don't have those problems. So we're gonna go ahead and keep Pipewire Video open. Let's go ahead and also open up QPW Graph. I think we've also grabbed that. Applications, QPW Graph. We're gonna want to keep this open. This is your audio interface, but it's also a way to have your video show up. If you wanted to, you can have that happen. This right here is the camera. I'm not connecting that. But you can kind of just rearrange all your stuff. Now I'm using bare minimum hardware. It's not the worst hardware in the world. It can get the job done. But it is also sort of, I think it might be kind of chugging, I think. Let's see here. Let me grab Mission Center. You want to be able to see how much is currently going on with this computer, considering the stuff I had to go through to get it. But, I mean, it's better than nothing, especially when it comes to using it. But let's go ahead and take a look at our utilization. Now, this will be your average computer in 2026. This will be your average computer in 2026. It's not using all the memory, so you'll be able to use basically enough. It has a huge swap file. The NVMe, the SSD, it's doing pretty good as far as I'm aware. 99 degrees Celsius, though. That is an interesting one. I think it's still fine. That's the gigabit. This is barely using a lot of memory usage. That's good. And we have this. This is also this is okay as well. So I mean, this isn't the worst thing ever. But you might be running all your games on low, or you might be playing like games that are not very demanding, along with Vtubing. But this is just to give you a base level knowledge on how to set things up. This isn't really accurate to your hardware. This is accurate to only the fact that you can actually connect things together with stuff. So we have this going here. Let's go ahead and also load up. Why keep doing that? This is what we're also going to go ahead and click on applications and click on Steam. Now Steam is going to go ahead and install. I'm going to minimize this. Minimize this for now. Steam is going to go ahead and start its installation process. It might take a little bit for it to pop up. And it's going to go ahead and do a whole bunch of pop-ups. I do like the rounded edges and the corners and how it personalizes your stuff. Go ahead and just close that out. Close this out. Go ahead and just put this in a full screen. Go ahead and click on Library. And what you'll be doing actually is you can actually look up VTube Studio. Grab it. And then use now. Go ahead and install it to your local drive. And it's going to go ahead and start doing that. What you can also do is you can also grab all the Proton versions you want. In this case, though, we're only going to really need... I mean, we're not really going to use these. We're going to go ahead and minimize that for now. We're going to go ahead and click on Applications. And there should be... Utilities. Proton Plus. It's going to go ahead and load Proton Plus up. GE Proton. Let's go ahead and grab 29. That's what it says in the documents, unless things have changed. I just know 29 works. But you also have different versions of Proton you can choose. You can also choose Steam Tinker launchers. I think for Pop! OS, you're going to need to use YAD and install YAD, but I'm not going to worry about that. On Bazite, you don't have to do that. It's already pre-installed. So, what we're going to go ahead and do, is going to go ahead and click on Steam. And while this is waiting, while this is going, we're going to go ahead and click on Manage Properties. We can still add the launch option here, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the Firefox web browser. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to copy this command as is. Now, we don't have to use the full thing for that, but what we can do is we can at least grab this here. We can do that. And there are certain things as far as Spout 2 is concerned. Yeah, Spout 2 notes to consider will be the next thing. Which is good because we want to make sure we keep this open. And I need to fix this actually because this has to be the full. Actually, no, this is fine. But yeah, we'll be running these programs through the Fogus launcher. I think that's the easiest way to do it for most people. Go ahead and click on Steam, launch options. We're going to copy and paste this here, but we're not going to do anything. We will change this to a GE Proton version of it, but for now we're not going to touch that. Go ahead and click the X button on that. Go back to Steam. Go ahead and just let it download everything. While we're waiting on that, however, is we're actually going to go to the VTube Studio part of the guide, and we're going to go ahead and go to the link where we can grab the ip.txt file from the DaVinciSoft. So we're still going to need that in order to actually make sure Face Tracker works. Go ahead and click on ip.txt, download the zip file, click on that, go ahead and extract this, and we'll have the ip.txt. We'll go ahead and cut that. We're going to go ahead and go back here, click on Properties, go ahead and install files, click on Browse. It's going to go ahead and show up here. Click on where it says VTube Studio, Streaming Assets, and copy and paste this right here. This is going to ensure that you have the ip.txt file here. If it didn't copy and paste, which I think it should, but I'm not sure what's going on with Cosmic. If it didn't copy and paste, you can always go to your Downloads folder, open a new window up, go to this, and just drag and drop it in there. And once it's dragged and dropped, you can then, verify the file if you want to. It'll show everything here. You don't really have to do much of anything else with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and close this. We have done everything there for VTube Studio. Go back to where it says General. Go ahead and click on that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the applications. And there will be Face Tracker somewhere, which will be right here. And it's going to boot up Face Tracker. Now, we have the UVC camera. That's the camera I have hooked up to this. You could change this to basically anything you want. Click on that. Go ahead and minimize this. We're going to go ahead and close Steam. Exit Steam. The Steam icon's not showing up correctly. It's weird. Exit Steam. Go and close that out. Actually, we're going to open that back up. Not now. Show me how. So we go back to that. Back to this. I'm going to want to keep this open for certain things. I am blind. I must have went past it. All right, so we have this up here. We're going to go ahead and keep that open. And we're going to go ahead and we have Face Tracker, we have OBS Studio up. We're going to go ahead and open up Steam again. So Steam Local. Go ahead and just log in. It's going to go ahead and go through its paces. Go ahead and look for VTube Studio because it eluded you. Grab VTube Studio. We're going to go ahead and change this properties. Compatibility. We're going to change this to GE Proton 10-29. Go ahead and click on launch. Then you're going to see something happen. And Spout 2 was created by Hoshino Lena. You should give Hoshino Lena a follow. Let alone, you should also take a look at her, at her projects. You can go ahead and click on the authors page here. This will take you directly to. That is odd. That is very odd. Okay. Okay, but I could take it to Spout 2 PW. Of course, like, it is what it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure things go here. Just make sure this can be in. The fuck. There we go. Put this in window mode. Okay. Go ahead and grab a model. So, as far as the models are concerned, you can actually go to the Steam Workshop, download a model, search, and we can grab any model that we want. There's quite a lot of free models people can choose. Go and grab Nico from One Shot. Hit OK. Double click. Go ahead and grab the model that you just grabbed off the Steam Workshop. And you'll see the model right here. You'll end up seeing the model right here. And what you'll end up doing is you will need to actually change the background, because if you try to connect this, so we're gonna have to click on settings. And we're going to go ahead where it has the camera. I'm going to go ahead and click camera on. Okay. Collaborate. And it's going to go ahead and do what it's got to do. Now since we have this going, you can go ahead and change, like, all the stuff that we need to do, especially when it comes to, like, how things are happening on here. So you can make your adjustments if you want to. And you can actually scroll down, see where it says activate Spout 2. You actually want to have that activated. Then what will end up happening is if you go to OBS Studio, you won't see anything yet. But if you'll see, this right here, the Pipewire video. See this? Wine64 preloader. Connect these two together. Once these two are connected together, what you can do is you can actually go back to OBS Studio and you'll see the model is right here. This is how you actually use Spout 2. Now, if you want to, now you notice that there's still a background. go ahead and go back to the Steam app and go ahead and click away from this. And you can actually click where it says change background. You want to change the background. Oh, there's a special spout to input. No, we're not doing that. You can actually change the background by clicking color picker, hit OK, change this to black, and then click on transparent and capture and hit X. Now what will happen, you see all the UI elements here? They're not going to show up here. You will see I've successfully installed Spout 2. So now you can move your model around if you want to. You can, have your little streams. You can do everything that you want. I noticed some users may have talked about needing to show their desktop on stream. So I mean, if you want to do that, since you're on Wayland, click on screen capture, hit OK, and you can grab whatever window you want. Open up selector, and it kind of looks a little different here because this is Cosmic, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, for some reason I can't just show the desktop by itself because this is the only desktop, but you can't win them all if but I'm not gonna worry about that. So we're gonna go ahead and click on cancel. For some reason some of the UI elements on the NVIDIA version of Cosmic are kind of different, kind of weird. It's not good. But yeah, you have your VTube Studio model on here now. Now you're wondering, okay, how do I get my PNG tuber model? How do I get my 3D model on here? So the idea is we can actually go ahead and close out VTube Studio now. This is the optimal way to capture a live 2D model now on Linux. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go and remove that. Yes. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up our file explorer and make sure to go to downloads, and we have all these here. Okay, so let's extract this. I did notice that Pop! OS isn't doing exactly everything a desktop would do on Cosmic, but this is still usable, I would say. So we have everything we need here with this. And yeah, you can use VTube you can use VTube Mini, VideoTube Mini on here. There isn't really a Spout 2 capture source for this. If we go to display settings, it's not going to show here. Program settings, it's not going to show. You would just window capture this and you'd green screen it. But if you want to use that, what you can do is you can actually go ahead and load up the Fogus launcher. It's just going to be somewhere, unless it didn't install. There it is. Go ahead and load up the Fogus launcher. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to add the program. So we're going to go ahead and type VideoTube Mini. Click on the path of the file, click on downloads, VideoTube Mini Windows, grab that one, hit open. And we're going to go ahead and keep this as is, hit OK. Click on the cog, Proton Manager. I'm going to grab GE Proton 10-29. Go ahead and just let that download. Because we will need that version to install correctly. So it's kind of sandboxed and different from the other versions that I'll be using. It's pretty good. So let that download. Once it downloads and installs, what you can do now is you can go ahead and close this. And go ahead and discrete GPU if you want. Okay. Go ahead and hit edit. Change this to GE Proton 10-29. Go to tools, and you're going to see where you have your launch arguments. Now, normally you'd put a command percent on this. The Fogus launcher doesn't need that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and go here and go back to the VTubing guide. Click on, where it says spout 2 notes to consider. Go ahead and grab your full file path. So for VTube Studio Mini, the Windows version, we're going to go ahead and do this, hit copy, and we're going to go ahead and paste this here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and backspace this, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Let's see here. So the name. I like how Bazite's right there. So you want to know what the name of your system is. System and accounts, about. It's either Pop OS, users, TPC Pop OS. So in this case, it's TPC Pop OS. So TPC Pop OS. Hit OK. I have to edit that actually. Edit tools. OS. Hit OK. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit play on this. It's gonna go ahead and install what it needs to install. Now, if it's not popping up and if it's not showing, that means the Fogus launcher doesn't have access to Pipewire. So what we're gonna do, which I should probably add to the guide because I don't think I did that, but let's see here. I think I did. I might have. Let's take a look at Spout 2. Studio. Spout 2. There we go. XDG run Pipewire. So we're gonna have that right here. This is required. This is 100% required to be able to be used as far as this is a 100% required in order for it to be used with any Flatpak application, because Fogus launcher cannot see Pipewire. That's the main issue right here. It cannot see Pipewire. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and actually grab Flat Seal. We've already downloaded Flat Seal, but you can still get that. So go to Utilities, click on Flat Seal. I'm gonna go ahead and load Flat Seal up. Click where it says Fogus launcher. We're actually gonna scroll down, and in other files, we're gonna click on the folder icon right here. Click on that, and we're gonna go ahead and paste this here. You want to make sure this says XDG run Pipewire. That way it could be seen by the Pipewire application. So we go ahead and click the X button here after we click away, because we don't want to screw things up. So do that here. Hit X. Go ahead and load up the Fogus launcher again. I keep doing that. Go ahead and load up the Fogus launcher again. Or try to find it. May have to search it. There it is. Actually, it's right here. And now we can go ahead and launch this. Okay, so it's not TPC Pop OS, it's just Pop OS. Hit OK. That. Oh, I see. Okay, edit. Oh, never mind, it's this. I'm stupid. Copy. We're just gonna go and just fix a few things real quick. And so it's lowercase. Sometimes it's case sensitive, but we learn as we go. Hit OK. Go ahead and hit edit. Tools. Go ahead and just that, hit OK. Now press this here and it should launch it correctly now. Then go ahead and let's launch it correctly. Components are up to date. Go ahead and install what it needs to install. It's kind of just let it do its thing. But yeah, this is required in order to have Fogus Launcher be seen by Pipewire. And it is required to make sure that you know your full file path, because Fogus Launcher is going to require the full file paths. The other programs might not. If it's Steam, it's just going to be auto-detected. So now we have this pulled up here. So the only microphone that we have is actually just the webcam. It works as far as I'm aware. So now how do you do Pipewire capture? Display settings. Don't do that. Program settings. Spout stream. Turn that on. And now it's going to be able to do that. Now, as far as a background goes, you will still need to do a screen capture for that. Right. But we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and click this here, OBS Studio, and keep that open. See here, see this? Okay, that didn't show up correctly. Let's try this. Let me check something real quick. Okay, I'm not sure why this isn't popping up or showing up. It should be. I'm not sure as to why it's not. In that case, let's go ahead and grab a newer version of Proton. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that. This, go here. Wait, change that to that. Go Proton Manager. What do I have for my settings on mine? Alright, I think I know what's going on. Let's go and just download the latest one. Go ahead and just download what it needs to download. That's done. Let's just change that to default. Hit OK. Edit. So this to that. Okay. Hit that. Just make sure this is gonna. Sure, it's gotta work. It's not working. I'm not sure what's going on with this. Very weird, because it should be outputting the spout 2 stuff. Maybe there's something going on with it not being seen correctly. Maybe there's a space that I put somewhere. Let me check. That's the only thing I could think of, is that there's like an unintentional space. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and applications, utilities, flat seal. It's gonna go back to flat seal. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. No, this is right. This is right. Well, I'm not sure what's going on. Try to get rid of the GTK, see what happens. Okay, just gonna load up Fogus Launcher now. Okay, so this is not working for some reason. Let me check another program. That should work, and it's well, actually, let me check off discrete GP. Let me see if that's the issue. Okay, start. Okay. I'm not sure as to what's going on. Most I can think of is maybe a restart, but we don't know. I don't know. Wow. Let's see here. It's just gonna close this. It's gonna go ahead and just close that. I'm not sure what's going on with this. It should just work. Let me take a look at the XTG run stuff real quick. Something weird's going on. I don't like that. Just enabling that. Let's try something. Yep, it's EPC Pop OS. Not sure what's going on. Here. Should be working. I'm not sure as to why it's not. Let's try something else. Let's try this. Paste that here, hit OK. Start on that. Yeah, it's just not gonna go. Shit. Okay. This. That. Edit. God. Okay, so copying and pasting doesn't work correctly. Not sure why. It's just not giving the thing it needs for this. I kind of wonder if I can just grab the one from Steam, so we're gonna do that real quick. I'm not sure what's happening with this. It's very weird that this situation would happen here. So let's close that. Let's go ahead and this. Gonna go ahead and click on Cosmic Files. Control H. Steam. This. Just copy that. Back. .var app. August launcher. Config. August launcher. That. State. August launcher. August. Where is this? Okay, so on some distributions you might have issues with this version of the August launcher. So let's go ahead and grab the... Let's go ahead and uninstall this one first of all. Just get removed, uninstall. So I'm not sure what's going on with the Flatpak version of August launcher, especially on Pop! OS Cosmic. Something's going on where it's not communicating with Pipewire. Now on Bazite, it communicates just fine. Let's go ahead and grab the August launcher. Just gonna go ahead and grab it from the GitHub page. Not sure what's going on. Releases. Go grab the all deb. Or the dev version of it. I'm gonna open that. Install. Put your password in. Enter. Okay, so it's installed. Let's go ahead and now look in your application menu. Open this up. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with your theme. Let's go add Vtube back. Let's grab this again. So I think this is the issue. Tools, launch arguments. We're gonna eventually put the launch arguments there. I think since we can do this, so since this is not the Flatpak version, I think we can actually just use this command here. Go to game app, grab GE Proton 10-29, okay, load this up, hit play, and it should just, oh, it's not working. It's honestly an issue. Edit, tools, /home, HTC Pop OS, okay, play. This should communicate with Pipewire, especially on Pop OS. So here we go. Okay, so on Pop OS, you cannot use the Flatpak version of the Fogus launcher. That also would apply to bottles. So I would not recommend using that if you need to use it for Pipewire or for like Spout 2. It's gonna go ahead and launch. Do everything it needs to do, give you the introductions. Just move that up. Webcam. Program settings. Let's go ahead and turn Spout on. Spout is installed. This will allow you to see Spout now. Now this should have showed up, but it's not doing that. It's weird. There's something going on with Pop OS. Or there's something going on with Pop OS for sure. This should show up the Pipewire, and it's not. Let me just go ahead and just check another application. So, try that again. That's really weird to see. Yeah, Pipewire is just not working on this. So if you're gonna have to use, if you're using Pop OS Cosmic, just window capture this and green screen it. So I'll go ahead and show you. So if you, in the event you can't use Pipewire on your distribution, go ahead and click on this, click on screen capture, click on OK, click on window, look for Vtube Mini, hit share, hit OK, click on filters, hit the plus sign, hit chroma key, hit OK. Go ahead and adjust your similarity. Hit close. Now you can use Vtube Mini in Pop OS Cosmic. For some reason, Pipewire Video is not working for that. At least not within. At least it's not working within like Pipewire video capture. We're gonna go ahead and check VC face. VC face. Picture downloads. I don't know why they didn't. Extract this. That. VC face. VC face, VC face. So look, open, tools, launch arguments. Now for this one, we're going to use special launch arguments. We're going to go ahead and click on Firefox, and we're going to go ahead and scroll down. It's about 2 notes to consider. Go ahead and grab this launch. This will go to your launch options. So go here. Go ahead and change your name to the name of your computer. PC Pop OS. Game arguments. You're going to go ahead and change this right here. Copy and paste the entire thing. That here. Hit paste. Game app. Change this to 10-29. Okay. Go ahead and hit that. It's going to go ahead and launch it. It may end up also installing the Pipewire video capture as well. Hit OK. Alright, and it's going to go ahead and launch video VC-Face. Installation is successful. Go ahead and launch this. Skip. I mean, in this case, we're just going to be using OpenCFace tracking. Hit start. Now the background should be black. It's not showing up as black. We can fix that in a minute. General. It's about 2 image capture. It should show up here. And it's not. It's not showing up. So, there's something broken in Cosmic to where it's not showing it up correctly as far as trying to get this to work. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Let's double check something, because my Cosmic files, it says it's TPC Pop OS, and that has to be correct because there's no way it's not. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Pop OS right now with this. It's not being, for some reason, it's not being able to be seen. It will install, but it's not working. The alternative to that, instead of using the file, if you're on Pop OS Cosmic, this is your alternative, okay? This, I believe, will work. Your alternative is to add the game to Steam, add a non-Steam game, browse, downloads, set Vtube Mini, browse, downloads, set VC-Face as well, open, add selected programs, go here, and at Steam, you're going to go into properties, paste your launch option here, compatibility, change this to 10-29, the same one YouTube Studio is using, hit play. Could not find wine prefix. Okay. Okay, so before you do that, you need to create the wine prefix. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut. So when you are launching a custom program from Steam, you need to make sure that you are launching it. It will create its own prefix. Trust me on this. It should then launch the Steam app. Close that out real quick. It'll then launch the Steam app here. Skip. You know, you can kind of launch. You can kind of use this here. You know, all that stuff. Go ahead and close that out. Properties. Launch options. Hit paste. We're also going to add the game option. Copy. I'm gonna go ahead and just, double check something real quick on my stuff. Okay. So you're grabbing this. Copy that. I have to fix that later. Steam. This. Paste. So this will be your launch option in Steam. The X button. This. Hit play. Then go ahead and install Spout2 and the wine prefix. You need to be able to create your prefix first before it will work. Hit OK. And you should have a black background as well. There you go. So this is correct. This will work. Your alternative, if you are on Pop OS Cosmic, is to launch your stuff through Steam. I'm not sure as to why this is an issue, but it is an issue. I also went ahead and picked up the face tracker, which is good. So I'm gonna go to settings, general settings, turn spout 2 image capture on. Give it a second. Let it do its thing. It crashed. Hit play. Start. Should have spout 2 image capture enabled, right? Yep, it does. So it's enabled. It will crash the first time. Not sure as to why. Go ahead and click the OBS Studio. Enable this. Go here. And you should see the Wine64 preloader. Go ahead and do that. It will connect. And here you are. You now have enabled spout 2 in... you've enabled spout 2 in... on through Steam on Pop! OS. For some reason, using an external program like the Fogs launcher or using an external, using something externally, you're going to have problems. It might work on bottles. Really just depends on how Pop! OS Cosmic is handling things. I think the regular Pop! OS would also handle things just fine, but this might be a slight inconvenience for some people. We can go ahead and stop VC Face. Let's go ahead and circle back around the Vtube Mini. Let's go ahead and let it create its launch option or prefix. So keep that open, hit play. Make sure you select a compatibility tool to use. We're still going to select the same one. That is the wrong fucking thing. That is the wrong thing. Why did it do that? I have no idea. Index 29. Hit play. It's going to go ahead and create the prefix here as well. Vtube Mini. Here we go. Got it here. And you'll have your background, basically. Go and just do what it's got to do. Select your microphone. Select everything you got to do with that. Make sure you enable spout 2. Turn that on. And it might end up being picked up. So let's go ahead and click on QP. Well, it's actually not even picked up yet because I haven't started it yet. So let's go ahead and click on the cog again. Properties. Launch options. Vtube Mini. Copy that. Paste it. Oh, it's the wrong thing actually. Back here. Grab this right here. Copy that. Paste it. And you might be able to change the background color. So we're going to go ahead and just experiment with that real quick. Copy that. Paste that. We're going to go and try this. See if the background color will change to black. If not, that's fine. We can always green screen. But go ahead and launch Vtube Mini now. I'm going to go ahead and install spout 2. Hit OK. And it didn't change the background to black. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just make sure spout 2 is enabled. It is. Go ahead and look into QPW graph, and here we go. See, the Wine64 preloader works. I'm not sure as to why it's not working on the Fogus launcher on either version. It might work through bottles, which we can check, but yeah, it's not working for whatever reason. So that's really weird. This will work, and you'll be able to see your stuff show up here. you need to, use filters, you can do that as well. Put your chroma keys in. Go ahead and adjust your similarity. It does use less resources overall than like window capture and game capture, so there is a perk to using it like this. And yeah, it is really good. It's really good for what it's worth, and I would say like it is usable at least. Let's go ahead and check bottles real quick. I just want to double check to see if this is even going to work. The bottles. Go ahead and just let it install its bottle. Hit continue. It's going to go ahead and set up everything there. Go ahead and close out YouTube Mini here. We're also going to close out Steam. Go ahead and close Face Tracker out if you need to. We're not going to use that because we're just checking one thing just to see if it even gets picked up. And if that gets picked up, the other stuff will get picked up too. Close out the Cosmic settings. And go ahead and just keep this stuff open here. Very certain. We can just use the full path for that. Got this here. Start using bottles. Let's go ahead and create a bottle. VideoTube Mini. Gaming. Let's create it. Create that bottle. Alright. Go ahead and create that bottle. Do what you gotta do. Go ahead and just let it install everything it needs. You can go ahead and do that real quick. Let it do everything it's got to do. You can go ahead and just finalize everything. Alright, bottles. Go ahead and click on the hamburger icon right here. Click on Preferences. Click on Runners. Look for GE Proton. And grab 10-29. It's going to go ahead and install. Alright, it's installed. Click on the bottle. Go ahead and analyze. So we're going to analyze something. So we're going to go, because this is a eagle analysis tool that people can use, and it's very interesting. So hit analyze. Go ahead and analyze, see what it might need. Now this is still in beta. It's going to go ahead and put any sort of requirements, add and launch the program. Just add the program. DL3 can't be found on the system. Dependency. Well, we're going to change the runner actually. Settings. 10-29. dependencies. Look for SDL3 if it exists. It does not. So nothing we can really do about that. But let's see if the Proton config has it. So let's go ahead and just launch this. It's refusing to launch. Now, what I can go ahead and do actually is we can try to do this again. And we're just gonna launch it raw. See what happens. You may have to download SDL3 for this. Just gonna extract them both. Okay, have them both extracted for now. Here, hit close. So for this, let's just try to add the program and see if it launches. Okay, so it's not launching because it's missing SDL3. So we're gonna go back to this one. We're gonna go ahead and just add. I'm gonna run an executable. Okay. All files. This is what we're gonna do. Cancel. Browse. Program files. Go to downloads. Grab this. Well, not that one. Grab this one. Cut. Cut. Go back. Paste. Go to the SDL3. You're gonna grab the 64. Cut. Paste. And we're gonna see if we can launch it. If not, then you can't really do that then, but we'll see. Yep, it's still missing SDL3. So, nothing we can really do about that. So, the best way to run your programs on Pop! OS Cosmic Edition would be to use Steam. That seems to be the general consensus here. That is how things are currently working at the moment. Pop! OS Cosmic has a lot of ways to go if they are trying to get themselves in a position where they're a decent OS to be used. I would still maybe using the GNOME variant or maybe install KDE on it to see if it would work. Do I recommend people use Pop! OS Cosmic? That's all dependent on how you feel about using it. There are a certain number of things and oddities that the OS has that are certainly broken, that need to be fixed in the long run, especially if you're going to be VTubing or content creating. Could you use it as a general OS? Yeah, sure, you could use that as a general OS and it would work. It'd work just fine. Would you be able to use it as a VTubing OS? The possibility is there that you could, but the OS seems like it is still very much in its early stages. Even if it might be out of beta, it might be, or alpha, it's still needing a lot of updates. It still has a lot of ways to go because there's no excuse for it to not be able to run Pipewire. Now, if your experience is different and on the Cosmic version of Pop! OS, then of course let me know and we'll see what we can do about see what's going on. But the only way that Spout 2 will work on Pop! OS, let alone Vtubing, you would need to basically do it like that. Will game capture work? Well, we can check real quick. I'm pretty certain game capture does work, so that might be your alternative until they fix how Pipewire video works in their OS. So let's go ahead and just, you know, launch OBS Studio. Okay, launch OBS Studio. Let's go just close this real quick. Move. Yes. We're gonna go ahead and open up the Fogus launcher again. We're gonna go ahead and go to VC Face, Edit, Tools, and we're gonna go ahead and get the OBS game capture. Hit OK. Launch your program. Oh, it's launching. Took it a minute. Let's see. Game capture work. Interesting. We'll keep that there. Up. What the hell? It's like it's trying to launch game capture. It's just not working. Let's go ahead and close that. Edit. Let's change that to a different one. Move Proton. Tools. Game capture. Okay, hit that. It's not working. Let's try something else. Just very worried why game capture is not working with us. But it seems like it's trying to. Okay. Let's try this differently. Let's load up Steam. Steam seems reliable. Let's load up Steam. It's gonna load up Steam. It seems reliable enough. It's the only thing that really wants to work. In Cosmic. VC Face. Properties. Paste this. PS game capture. Percent. And percent. I don't think game capture is installed on this. So for Pop! OS, we're gonna have to try to install game capture. So open up Firefox. Let's go ahead and go back to the Linux VTubing guide. I don't think it has game capture by default. This is interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and go here. Now this is a slightly, now I think they're on Ubuntu Noble now. They used to be on Jimmy Jellyfish. Now they're on Noble Numbat. So we're gonna go ahead and go here. Go to the GitHub page. We're gonna go ahead and install these dependencies. So we're gonna go ahead and actually open up the terminal. Paste this here. Do that. It's gonna go ahead and install the stuff. It's gonna need to, or else you're not gonna be able to use game capture. Copy that. Paste. Yes. Because I think it was missing dependencies. Now, for the dependencies alone, let's go ahead and try to see if we can launch this. It's just not launching. Okay. That means game capture is not installed, and it needs to be installed. So let's go ahead and just start doing this stuff real quick. Let's go ahead and just grab this, paste, enter. Yes. So not only would you have to have game capture in the other thing, in order for it to actually be used, you need to go and just extract this. OBS VK capture. Cut and put this to your home folder if you're able to. Open this up. You want to open the terminal inside of this. Go back here. Type in make directory and cd build. Paste. Now you're going to go ahead and type in this, or copy and paste this. Go ahead and install game capture. Now we're going to go ahead and type in sudo make. Put your password in. It's going to go ahead and start creating. It's going to start installing game capture. Then put sudo make install. And it's going to go ahead and install it. It has installed game capture. It's going to be in your share file. The system's actually going to be able to see your game capture. That's how you do this. If you're doing it manually, most of the time, if you're on Flatpak or systems that already have game capture installed, like Bazite, Nobara, CachyOS, you know, other distributions that have optimized defaults, that will work. PopOS obviously does not have optimized defaults, which is a problem. If you're going to market your OS as being a really good OS, it should have optimized defaults. In the event that it doesn't, well, this is what we're going to have to do. So we have game capture installed. We're going to grab that real quick. Go to Steam. Go to this, properties. Paste that here. That. And it should launch now, since game capture exists, because a program will not launch if it doesn't exist. Since game capture exists, I do believe this might work on other things too. But since game capture is here, I'm going to hit start. And it should just game capture. Yeah, and it's just going to game capture this. So the game capture does work. Let's go ahead and check a look at the Fogus launcher real quick, just to double check. You know, we don't want to write anything off, you know, just make sure it's not, you know, just make sure it's actually good. So you'd have game capture this way. Hit this. So this should work since we have game capture now, because the system can see it. This is basically like live troubleshooting. This is what you're going to normally run into when you are trying to get this stuff set up on certain distributions that require it. That's why we have window capture, game capture, Spout 2, making sure it's all working correctly. But it should boot it up. It might give you that. Go ahead and install Wine Mono. Some launchers might require it. It's going to go ahead and require the Wine Mono installer. It's going to go ahead and grab the program. Add your avatar. Well, hit start. And there you go. Game capture also works on Fogus. So, does game capture work on this? Yes, it does. Window capture works on this. Spout 2 will only work on this in Steam. Because for some reason, it's not working on Pop. There's something weird going on with it. Yeah. That'd be PopOS. PopOS definitely is a system. Of all, you know, it is a system people can use. I will say, based on what I've already witnessed and helping people get set up with stuff, if you're going to use PopOS Cosmic, here are some key takeaways. You will have issues trying to get Spout 2 working on certain applications and programs. It's recommended you run your programs through Steam if you can. If you need to run other programs or external programs, use game capture or window capture with those programs to make sure that you have a somewhat stable experience. Pop! OS Cosmic is still actively being worked on. Right now it's still currently in a release state, but it does have issues and oddities that are very weird in comparison to other display managers. Not only that, there are also some Pop! OS specific problems where Pop! OS doesn't ship with game capture pre-installed. It should be shipping with game capture pre-installed. Not only is this something that needs to be done for VTubing software, if you are a streamer or a VTuber or a V streamer, basically how you want to say it, you're going to still want game capture because you want to be able to still capture some games, or you want to use the screen capture option. Would I be able to recommend this OS to people? Would I honestly be able to recommend Pop! OS to people? The base Pop! OS, sure, I can probably recommend that, but please be aware that that also might still have issues. Pop! OS Cosmic, I don't think it's quite ready yet. I do not think that Cosmic is ready. I think Cosmic still has a long way to go. I just don't think Cosmic is ready. Especially since it has a bunch of oddities that need to be worked out and there are issues with the OS based on like a practical point of view when you're trying to actually use it to get things going. Do I recommend Pop! OS? Short answer, no. Long answer, it's really up to you. If you want to use Pop! OS, it's fine. Please understand that you might have issues on the Cosmic variety. You might have issues on the Cosmic version of Pop! OS. Will these issues possibly carry over to KDE, GNOME, Cinnamon? I mean, it might. It very well might. But Pop! OS is definitely one of those Ubuntu-based distros that might have certain issues out the gate that you might have to take some time to fix. Is it a great OS in general? Yes, it is. Would I recommend it for content creation? Would I recommend it for VTubing? No. No, I wouldn't. And it's because there are some inconveniences, even if they are considered slight inconveniences, that most VTubers are not going to want to deal with. So yeah, I'm sure it's a great OS. I'm sure it's going to be fine. This is probably like one of the first videos outside of the Gen 2 video that never existed, where I basically said, no, you probably should not be using this for VTubing at the present moment. Can that change later on? 100% it can. If the devs see this video and they want to go ahead and work on all the issues I've had, be my guest, please do that. I will point them out as the video goes on, or if you've seen them. Other than that, thank you. Hope you all have a good night. The next video I might end up working on might be a free BSD video, maybe. But I will catch you all later. If you want to go ahead and support me on the Ko-Fi. If you want to follow me on Twitch and YouTube. And if you want to, if you need tech support help, go ahead and go to the Discord. It's on the it's on my link tree. It's on the Linux Guide to VTubing. And I will catch you all later. Bye bye.